It's your boy CK here. In today's video, I'm gonna be trying to do something that I don't think I've ever actually done here on the channel. I got a whole space and desk over here that I'm gonna be trying to convert into a mobile gaming PC desk setup for the Asus ROG Ally. Look, y'all, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but we're gonna try somehow, some way to get this setup to look like something by the end of this video. All right, so a little backstory here before we get to this whole setup. So I was sitting, like literally playing this, right? I was sitting on my couch and I was like, how dope would it be if I can build some type of setup to where I can dock this and then I can have a whole like mobile desk gaming PC setup with just using this right here. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. If I'm gonna be doing it, I might as well just show it and share it to you guys. So that way, if you wanna build one for yourself, hey, you got it. So there's a couple things that I'm gonna need in order to get this whole thing set up. Hopefully I don't run into any problems, but we're gonna need a desk, obviously, which I think I got that covered by now. We need the Asus ROG Ally, some lights, keyboard, a mouse, or some type of gaming controller, a monitor, a pair of gaming headphones, and then we also need one of the most important things. We need a stand. We need something that this bad boy here can actually sit on. I have no idea how this is gonna work, but let's let the games begin. All right, so the first thing we need to set up on this desk, y'all, is the monitor. Now, I'll let you in on which monitor I'm using when I do the final reveal in this video. Now, since I don't have any extra monitors just laying around, I decided to just take one from the other desk that I have here and just use it in this setup here. Hey, look, it's all about rinsing and repeating and just using what you guys already have to make your space look how you want it to look. Only spend money when you have to. Now, once I got my monitor from the other side of the room and put it over here, I used this monitor on from Herman Miller that I got a while back to mount the monitor to. So that way it's gonna give us just an overall cleaner look in the end. As you guys can tell, I like a clean setup. Although, look, I know my other desk is looking like somebody just threw all their junk on it that they had, but I promise y'all it's only junky because I was moving stuff around for this video. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Next, I went ahead and plugged in the power cable to make sure that it was getting power, and I gave it a good wipe down because, whew, man, it was dusty, y'all. All right, y'all, so the first step is done. We got the monitor here all set up. Not gonna lie, that was not probably the easiest process that I thought it was gonna be because I literally had to unhook it from like all of this stuff over here that I got set up. I think it looks good so far, but we still got a long way to go. Let's go ahead and get to the next part, which is actually plugging in the Asus and figuring out power to get it connected to the monitor. So then that way we can get all of that configured up. So let's get to that part, let's go. All right, so setting up the monitor here was pretty smooth. Now the next thing we gotta do is get our monitor connected to the ROG Ally Gaming Handheld PC, and then we're gonna connect that up and plug it into and get everything displayed out. Now, the first thing I grabbed here was a device called the CalDigit TS3 Plus. Now, I've talked about this a bunch of times here on the channel, but it has this display port on it, and theoretically, I should be able to run this into the monitor and just display this out, no problem. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So here's what happened, y'all. So I plugged the cable into the USB-C port on the ROG Ally from the CalDigit, and we got power delivery, which is exactly what I was wanting. I wanted to be able to plug this in, get power, so that way whenever I'm gaming, I don't have to worry about my battery dying. Theoretically, that should work. So everything from that point was looking good so far until I plugged in the display cable into the monitor and into the back of the CalDigit TS3 Plus, and I got nothing, which was a huge snag into this process and setting this up because I was literally banking on this working. All right, so I've run into a little issue right now with this whole setup here that I thought was gonna work. So what I did was I actually have the Asus ROG that's actually going into the CalDigit right here. This CalDigit, I actually have a display port that's running from here into the monitor right here. And then I also have a single cable that's running into the Asus ROG Ally. And that's actually providing it power to be able to run through this whole setup here. But for some reason, it's not displaying using the display ports. So I'm gonna have to figure out a whole nother solution to try to get the display to actually pop up here on the screen. I thought this was gonna work, but it's looking like it's not working. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out another solution. So the journey must go on. All right, y'all. So after doing some thinking, I decided to go ahead and try another solution and ditch the CalDigit altogether since I just couldn't get that to work. So I removed the CalDigit here and I unplugged everything from there. And then I went ahead and plugged in the docking station here using a USB-C to display cable versus using like a straight display cable, figuring this should work, right? Well, look, I plugged this in, and after plugging this in, y'all, this is what happened. I got absolutely no picture to show up again. To say that I was getting frustrated here, y'all, would literally be an understatement because I cannot figure out why this was not working. I'm not sure if it's the monitor or if it's Asus ROG Ally or whatever it is. I'm just getting frustrated at this point. But before I actually give up on this project, I decided to go ahead and remove any docks from the equation at all and just plug in a single USB-C to display cable from the handheld PC console and plug it right into the monitor in itself. And just like that, y'all, we got action, we got power, we got picture, but there's still a problem with this result. All right, y'all, so I finally got at least a good portion of it finally set up here. Finally, I got an output here to the monitor from the Asus here. And now I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't get it how I actually wanted to get it because I really wanted it to be to whereas I can still get a power output to the actual ROG Ally while I'm still gaming and stuff like that. But for some reason, with the setup of how I did it, it's not actually working. So I tried running a cable that's plugged into the top up here that was actually giving it power, but for some reason, whenever I plugged my display port in to the back of the monitor and then I ran it into the other device that I have, for some reason, it just wasn't being able to give output for picture quality up here. So I had to go ahead and decide against that. But nonetheless, the next thing we gotta do is we gotta get a stand. So I actually had a stand right here that I highly recommend you guys pick up. It is this one right here. This is what I'm using to basically mount this whole setup and get it clean looking, as you guys can see right here. So highly recommend you guys pick up this stand. I have a link for you guys for this one down in the description section below, as well as everything else that you guys are gonna see in this video. So definitely make sure you guys get that. Hi, so after the struggle of finally getting the ROG Ally to output to the monitor, I went ahead and I grabbed my controller of choice that I personally like to use with it, which is the Xbox Series S controller. I just feel like it connects way easier to it than something like the PS5 controllers. Next, I needed to grab my gaming headphones of choice as well as my headphone stand, which just so happens to actually match aesthetically to this whole desk setup with the whole black and white theme of the controller as well as the console. If it don't match, then you know, what you doing over there? Then one of the last things that we need to add are the gaming light bars that I picked up from Govee. Now setting these up here, it literally took me about all of 10 minutes to set up. You just screw on the base of each light bar, you plug in the AC adapter into the controller, and then you plug in the single cable that connects both the lights into that same controller, and then you just press the power button and you turn it on. And it's literally that easy, y'all. Now this ain't sponsored or anything like that, but I promise you, when you see the final reveal in this video, you definitely gonna want to pair along with the stand that the ROG Ally is sitting on, because with that console sitting high up like that with the pulsating lights on the console, whew, I'm telling you, with that light bar, it just looks so fire, y'all. Whew. All right, y'all, so it's finally coming together, man. I'm hyped on how it's actually turning out. So far, it looks pretty good. I got the lights up here. Shout out to Govee. Actually, they didn't send me those, so but still, I think they some dope looking lights. But yeah, so we got the monitor set up, we got the lights set up, we got our headphones, we got our gaming controller. We pretty much got everything set up. The one thing we gotta add here, I gotta add my seat. Hold on, let me add that right in there. Boom, got the seat. We pretty much all set up and ready to go. I think the last thing I wanna add is just a few minor changes as far as kind of hiding a lot of the wires and cables and stuff like that, just so it could be a much cleaner aesthetic. And then I'm gonna also add some greenery as well, just to kind of spruce up the area. So I'll check back with y'all a little later. All right, so we finally coming close to the finish line. And to me, I feel like the area is looking good, but it's not looking complete and it just looks a little empty. So I decided to go ahead and take one of my bamboo plants that I have and just added it here to the setup to kind of fill in the gaps and fill in the space on the left-hand side, just to make it look a little bit more fuller and just add a pop of color over there as well. Look, pro tip, you can never go wrong with adding greenery to your setup. So whatever setup you got, just add some plants or something like that and you're gonna be good to go. Now, once I added the plant here, I also needed to adjust the desk. Now, I was kind of upset here because I accidentally hit the desk like crazy hard up against the wall and it chipped some of the paint off the wall and the drywall, but it's all good. The desk will hide most of it, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, once I got the desk in the position that I wanted it in, I needed to do the one thing that everybody hates to do, and that is cable management. Now, lucky for us, since this is more of a minimal setup, there's really not that many cables that needs to be hidden, but hiding cables is a pain in the ass no matter how you look at it. It was a struggle, but I was still able to tuck some of the larger power bricks as well as run the cables neatly right underneath the desk. And I think we ready to go. All right, so I finally got everything set up here. I got the lights on there. I got my headphones. I got my gaming controller. I got the Asus stand. I got the Asus up there. I got the painting. I got everything, the desk, everything is set up here, y'all. And I think personally, it came out looking super clean. It came out with the look that I wanted as far as the minimal look. And now it's just a matter of showing y'all everything that's on the desk and how you guys can get yours set up the exact same way.
There's been a whole lot of crying, whole lot of telling me I should be dying to be like you, but I don't wanna be like you. There's been a whole lot of trying, whole lot of crying, whole lot of telling me I should be dying to be like you, but I don't wanna be like you.
All right, y'all, so we finally got everything set up here on the desk. I'm super hyped on how well it came out. I wanted the super minimal look, and that's what I was going for, and I felt like I nailed it. You can let me know down in the comments if you think so, but I'm gonna walk you guys through everything on this desk, so that way if there's anything that you guys see that you like, I'll have them all linked for you guys down in the description section below. All right, so the first thing I want to start off with that is kind of like everything that builds upon this, right? And that is the desk in itself. Now, this desk here is a Flexi Spot desk. I went out and I bought the legs, and then I actually got the countertop here from IKEA. This is an IKEA butcher block. You guys have seen this on YouTube a lot. I actually got all of my desk that's in my space is actually this exact same top. I love this top here. Moving on, man, we have my gaming headphones of choice. This is the Astro A50s. I love these things, y'all. I've been using these since 2020, and yeah, they my tried and true, y'all. I absolutely love these things. I need to get some new ones because the paint is kind of like chipped off on these because, you know, your boy be getting it in. Next thing we got here that I want to talk about is these lights. Now, you see these lights that I have here on both sides. These are actually really dope. These are by Govee. I'll have these linked down in the description section below, but it comes with this kind of like manual controller here to allow me to be able to change the different colors I can change them to, or I can change the brightness settings to it. I can switch it to whereas if I'm talking, like, let me change it right now. So right now, if I'm talking, it's gonna be able to react to my voice or react to sound, which is actually really dope. I can turn that off if I don't really want that to basically do that. Hold on, let me, wait a minute. All right, there we go. I can turn that off so whereas it doesn't necessarily do that, but it's really cool. So if you got like games and different things like that you guys are playing and you got them blasting through speakers, it's gonna be able to react to it based on the audio that's coming out of your system. Really easy to put together, but yeah, these lights are by Govee, and yeah, they fire. The next thing we got here is the monitor. Now, the monitor that I'm using, I'll have the name of it right here as well as in the description, but it's a 34-inch ultra wide gaming monitor. This is a part of their gaming series. I love this monitor here, y'all. Now, it's not the OLED one that they got, which I do plan on getting that here on the channel if that's something you guys are interested in. This is what I'm rocking with. And then as far as the connectivity, right, because this was one of my biggest issues that I had with this entire setup was how was I able to get this to be able to plug into here? So what I ended up doing was I got a USB-C cable that's plugged into the Asus ROG Ally, and then on the back here I actually got it connected using a DisplayPort cable. Now, I could have ran another line to whereas I could have, you know, maybe another cable that's sitting up here, and then whenever I'm not using it, I can just swap the cables out and just plug in the charging cable. But I didn't want to do that because, again, I wanted this whole look to be real minimum and so forth. So I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna actually do it. I think it came out really dope, man, and I'm hyped for it. And yeah, it's yeah, it was a journey, but your boy ended up getting it nonetheless. Now, as far as the stand go, this is probably one of the most important pieces that you're gonna need within your setup, because you're gonna need something to be able to sit the gaming console on. So for me, I picked up this here, and you guys have been picking them up, and shout out to all of y'all who've already ordered yours. All of the orders have been shipped out, so you guys will be getting those in the mail. So shout out again to all of y'all. I appreciate you guys and your support here on the channel. So if you guys wanna pick one up, you wanna join the squad, then go ahead and click on the link that I have for you guys down in the description section below. But nonetheless, either way, you're still gonna need some type of stand, just so that way, you know, it's gonna look good on your setup, and that way you're just not kind of like laying it down on your desk, because, you know, that's just ain't the way. So you definitely want to be able to have it propped up, just because it's gonna look way better on your setup. From there, as far as the mount that I'm using, this mount here is actually from the same company of the chair that I got, which is Herman Miller. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I do not recommend you guys use this mount, because this mount is crazy expensive. Herman Miller did send this out when I was working with them, so that's why I'm using it, and it is a really good mount. So if you guys want to use it, I'll have it linked for you guys. But again, I don't recommend you guys spend as much money as it costs for this mount, for, you know, if you're mounting your monitor or something like that. I'll have some recommendations that are way cheaper for you guys down in the description section below to check out. This is the Aeron gaming chair that they have, and you know, it's not my favorite chair overall, I'm not gonna lie to you. Over time, it's kind of worn itself down, and I'm actually on the hunt for a new chair, so it might be more coming on that a little later, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Now, as far as the painting, you guys may be wanting to know with this painting, I've had this painting in my other studio, and this is a Martin and Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air painting, y'all. This is two of my favorite shows, and I just felt like it fits perfectly within this space. And then I also have an IKEA plant here, just, you know, one of the fake YouTube plants that just kind of add some greenery to the desk. And then over here I also have a IKEA fake bamboo plant. Again, add some more greenery over here to the space, just to kind of give it that vibe, give it that look, and just kind of complete the whole setup. And then last but not least, y'all, we have, this is a stand. Now, I'm not gonna go too crazy into this yet, but this is a stand that I absolutely love, man. This is actually gonna be something special here on the channel. I'm not gonna go too far into it just yet, but you guys are getting a sneak peek of this for right now. But yeah, I'm gonna hold off on really talking too much about that. But yeah, just know something special coming here to the channel, to whereas you guys are gonna be able to be a part of that. But I'm testing things out and all of that right now before I kind of do that full reveal to you guys. But that is pretty much all the setup. And the last but not least, again, my controller choice that I'm using is the Xbox Series S controller. For me, it's just a whole lot easier to be able to connect it up using the Xbox controller over something like a PlayStation controller. But that's pretty much it, man. That is the whole setup, y'all. I'm super hyped on how well it came out. If you guys have any questions about anything that's on this desk, as far as either getting yours set up, how I have mine set up here, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up, as well as click on the subscribe button. I'll see y'all in the next one. Squad. All right. Now, I gotta move all this stuff back.